So, Mr. Richard, we have the phone number that ends in 1752.
I'm talking about the number you supposedly contacted the defendant on.
Yeah, you're the defendant, and it's the phone number that ends in 1752.
No, that's an assumption and presumption. I'm not nobody's defendant. Under what law are you saying that I could? What charges? What are the charges? You're refusing to answer any questions. That's what you're saying? Because I just have questions. I
It
didn't
does
even
not.
answer. I didn't even ask the question. So how did you answer it? That's what I'm saying. Are you refusing to answer the questions? Why are you enforcing statutes if you took an oath?
Alright everyone, today we have one of the most irritating sovereign citizens I have ever covered on this channel. Seriously, this individual simply will not stop talking, and while he is not strictly adhering to the typical "I do not recognize your court" script, he is still playing the sovereign citizen game by acting as though the law does not apply to him, but spoiler alert, it definitely does. Judges do not tolerate this kind of nonsense, and honestly, it is painful to watch because this guy is being a complete imbecile. Let me know in the comments what you think this sovereign citizen's IQ might be, and if you enjoy content like this, make sure to like and subscribe as I really appreciate the support. So let us go ahead and dive right in.
Richard, if you could activate your audio and video so I know that you are hearing. Okay, thank you. The case that we believe I saw recently, there was a eval set up and they were unable to reach him to participate in that evaluation.
That's my understanding, Your Honor. I saw that as well. I think the last time we were in court, counsel indicated that the meeting had been set up to do the evaluation and the date was discussed. And it looks like Mr. Richard did not appear for that.
And for the record, Sean Parent for Mr. Richard. Yes, unfortunately, that appears to be the case. I'm not sure why Mr. Richard didn't appear at the evaluation.
So, Mr. Richard, we've been waiting for you to talk to one of the doctors, and we've been setting this case over for that to happen. When you were here on April 8th, we discussed that you were scheduled for that appointment on April 24th. So I know that you were aware that they had you calendared. Mr. Richard, why didn't you show up for that appointment?
Well, that was an assumption. I wasn't aware of anything.
Well, you were at the hearing when we talked about it, so.
I don't recall.
You participated on Zoom on April 8th, and we discussed that your evaluation was calendared for the 24th of April.
Was there anything signed for confirmation?
Your attorney has been working to get that set up. So.
Well, I haven't talked to anybody.
Mr. Parent, have you been in contact with Mr. Richard?
Looks like my office, we tried to reach him to make sure that he appeared at the evaluation, but we were unsuccessful in reaching him.
Do you have proof of that?
Yes, I have my colleague's notes that we tried to get a hold of you.
And what was the number?
So, Mr. Richard, we have the phone number that ends in 1752.
I'm talking about the number you supposedly contacted the defendant on.
Yeah, you're the defendant, and it's the phone number that ends in 1752.
No, that's an assumption and presumption. I'm not nobody's defendant. I'm authorized representative of that account.
I would estimate this individual's intelligence quotient is approximately -3, as it is baffling how he possesses the nerve to explicitly inform the judge that he is not the defendant. The sheer audacity of this sovereign citizen is simply mind-blowing, or perhaps it is not boldness but rather a genuine lack of concern for anyone's opinion of him at this stage. Regardless, he is appearing in court for a remarkably simple matter. He was caught driving, or traveling as he calls it, without a valid operator's license, and I honestly cannot comprehend why he refuses to just pay his fines and proceed with his life, as these sovereign citizens are so incredibly egotistical that it is truly bizarre. Please share your current thoughts regarding this individual in the comments, and now let us jump back into the video.
Okay, so Mr. Richard, the thing is, if you cannot participate out of custody, the court may have to set bail and have you placed in custody to get this evaluation accomplished. So when you are informed of the appointments and then you choose not to appear, the court interprets that as a willful violation.
Under what law are you saying that I could, what charges are, what are the charges?
We've gone over that. You have been told that you are charged with driving while license suspended and driving without an ignition interlock device. So
When,
understand that
what was the
I
date?
understand you disagree, but at
No,
this
what was the
point,
date?
we
I
need to,
don't disagree with none of the facts. I said, what was the date?
the date of the driving. Is that what you're asking?
Well, I don't drive, so I'm trying to figure out the date you have on file.
June 4th, 2022, Your Honor, is the charge date.
Thank you.
Okay, and have I been charged with anything?
Yes.
And what is it? What are the charges?
As the court just read aloud, driving while license suspended and driving without a functioning ignition interlock.
And is there a witness that you can bring to attain to that?
Those are the criminal charges. You also were cited for not having insurance.
Yeah, but do you have a witness?
Yes, the city has witnesses. We have the officer that will be testifying.
The officer. Okay, well, can you read the police ticket on the record?
We're not having a trial today. We're trying to figure out whether or not you are competent and able to proceed in this matter, and that requires that you speak to a doctor. But that is what we're trying to accomplish. And Mr. Richard, if you refuse.
Can you explain to, I don't understand, so can you explain to me how
We've
how this works?
explained this to you previously, so what I'm gonna ask you is whether or not you are going to comply with meeting the doctor out of jail, or does the court need to set bail and have you booked into custody so they can talk to you there? That's not what I'm wanting to do. I would like you to cooperate and have this case proceed with you out of custody.
Well, I need some type of contract to obtain to whatever you're asking, because I have questions and you're not answering them.
This individual appears completely brain dead because the judge and prosecutor have already addressed his repetitive questions approximately 10 times, yet he refuses to stop. I wonder if you believe he is simply stalling in hopes that they will dismiss the case, as I cannot identify any other logical reason for him to be gaslighting the court into believing this nonsense. His entire strategy seems to consist of asking the same questions repeatedly and then attempting to convince the court they never provided an answer, even though we all clearly heard them respond to him multiple times. This man is such a colossal waste of time, and I truly wonder how much taxpayer money is being squandered simply because he refuses to undergo a competency review. So let us dive back into the footage.
Your Honor, at this point, I think given the track record of Mr. Richard and his unwillingness to comply, the city is going to be asking that the court set bail and remand him on that bail to have the evaluation done in custody.
Mr. Richard, can you assure the court that you will come to an out of custody evaluation?
I will agree to anything if you guys can tell me the nature and cause of this action. My Sixth Amendment right. I need to know these things before we can move further. Are you refusing to tell me?
I didn't quite hear your question. What are you asking?
I need to know the nature and cause of this action. I need to know that before we can move forward.
Yeah, I believe that the court has told you that you're being charged with driving a license suspended in the 3rd degree and operating a motor vehicle without an ignition interlock device.
Okay, well, I have a question for the judge.
What's that,
Hello?
Mr. Richard?
Hello?
Mr. Richard?
Hello? Or can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. You should sit down, and then instead of having me facing you at the clouds, you should participate in this hearing. Thank you. So every time we have a hearing, you ask these same questions, and we've explained to you that you're facing criminal charges and that we need to have the doctor speak to you. And so right now, your option is whether or not, as your attorney said, you can agree to meet with the doctors and stay out of jail to do that, or the court will have to remand you into custody so that they can
So
talk to you
basically,
while
you're
you're
telling
in
me you're
jail.
refusing to answer me. You're refusing to answer any questions? That's what you're saying? Because I just have questions.
We've answered your questions. We're going to proceed at this point. I'm going to.
I didn't even ask the question. So how did you answer it? That's what I'm saying. Are you refusing to answer the questions?
What do you want to know besides what you're charged with? What was your other questions?
My other question was, did you or did you not take an oath to uphold the Constitution? Can I just get a yes or no?
That would be a yes.
So you're enforcing statutes right now, and so you're totally going against your oath. So I'm trying to figure out what authority do you have to tell me to do anything as a public servant?
Mr. Richard, I am authorized by the revised Code of Washington to sit in this court. I'm duly appointed to be a municipal court judge. I've taken my oath. You're charged with a violation
if you
of
took
the
an oath-
RCW and the Lake
If you
Forest
took
Park
an oath,
Municipal
then why are
Code.
you why are you enforcing statutes if you took an oath?
I know you don't think that it applies to you, but it does. So
I didn't say
to
it didn't
set
apply to me.
bail. I'm
I didn't
gonna
say it
set
didn't apply to
bail
me.
in this matter at
You're making
$10,000.
assumptions, ma'am. You're making assumptions, ma'am. I never said it didn't apply to me. But we both know here that the Constitution is not for me. It is for the public servants. So I don't know why you're making assumptions and presumptions. All I had was questions, and you're just going around me.
The judge truly needs to hit this individual with a contempt charge immediately because, for starters, the man is not even showing his face, which is straight up disrespectful, and it is painfully obvious he is attempting to provoke everyone by playing these bizarre games. He is making the entire court system appear weak by getting away with such nonsense, and it is incredibly frustrating that the judge has not taken action yet. We see this far too often with sovereign citizens being let off the hook despite being blatantly disrespectful in court and receiving only a slap on the wrist, so I do not understand why more judges do not simply utilize contempt charges. If she were to issue one now, it would be entirely justified, as this guy is a loose cannon who may even be mentally ill. Please let me know in the comments if you believe this judge is being too soft or if she is handling the situation correctly, and now let us dive back in.
So, Mr.
Obfuscation
Parent,
is
I'm
a
going
big
to
thing
set
now.
bail at $10,000, and we're going to end this hearing, Mr. Richard. You can report to jail. You can come in, but we are trying to do this without you having to be in custody, but you are refusing to cooperate.
I didn't refuse anything. I was never put on notice, so I didn't refuse anything.
Or you
Everything
were,
you're doing
I
right
know
now
you
is
were put
because
on
you wanna
notice
do
at
it.
our last hearing, so that's on the record. So
What's
I
on the
know that
record?
to be false, Mr. Richard. So that
So
is
everything that I asked you, am I wrong? Is that
yes,
what you're saying?
yes, you're wrong. So we're
I'm
gonna
wrong.
fix this and we are done on this matter. Mr. Parent, if he does reach out to you and something can be arranged for them, but right now the doctors have tried twice to contact you and you've taken a spot that would have been available to someone else. So we need to progress this matter, and that bail will be set and we'll continue with an in-custody hearing date when you are booked.
For the record, the judge is willingly going against public policy. So on here and in, you're held liable for everything you do from here on out.
All right, thank you, Mr. Richard.
For the record.
There is simply no way this individual will appear in person for his competency examination, and I would honestly bet money on that outcome because his pride is genuinely alarming. He could have easily paid the ticket and moved on with his life, but instead, we are here wasting everyone's resources, including taxpayer money. Now he will be forced to post bond, pay court fees, and squander everyone's time, including his own, as it truly seems like he is going out of his way to make life difficult for everyone just to stick it to a government that likely does not care about him, which will only hurt him in the end. I realize I rant about sovereign citizens frequently, but seriously, when will this nonsense conclude? These people refuse to accept that laws exist for a reason and somehow believe they are above them all, making me wonder what it will take to stop this. Honestly, I have started thinking we should just ship all sovereign citizens to a deserted island to create their own society. Can you imagine an entire island of sovereign citizens with no licenses, no courts, and no rules? That is not freedom, it is chaos, and I would honestly approve of that idea to the point where I would rather pay transportation fees to move them out than pay taxes for these court proceedings. If you do not want to live by the rules here, then leave. Anyway, let me know what you thought about this court hearing in the comments, specifically whether you think the judge was too soft or did all she could, and if you enjoyed this video, do not forget to like and subscribe for more content. I appreciate you all so much for watching, so take care.